All right, since 2017, Akai has released a lot of the newer MPCs, and a lot of us have our favorites. And to be honest with you, I believe that this MPC right here, the MPC Live 2, is probably the best MPC that they made. Number one, portability, and for the price. And of course, you got speakers and stuff in here and a battery and all that good stuff. And I believe it's probably the best out of the bunch. However, that's just me. Okay, I know some of you guys have different opinions, and of course I want you guys to let me know in the comment section on which one do you think is the best. However, I do have my favorite, and my favorite is this one right here. Yep, the MPC Key 37. This is my favorite.
Bolo!
Now, why would I pick that over the MPC X Special Edition? You know, has all the bells and whistles. It's great, looks good. It's the ultimate MPC, you know, amongst all the speculation that's going on. Now, the thing about it is the MPC Key 37 might not have all the bells and whistles that I want. It might not have a battery in it. It might not have speakers in it. It might not have all the Qlinks that I would want it to have. However, I found myself using the MPC Key 37 more than any one of my other MPCs. And the main reason why is the keys. Now, I know with the MPC X and with the MPC Live 2, I can just go ahead and add in a MIDI controller and I'll be perfectly fine. However, sometimes I don't want to do that. I just want to hook up my MPC and go to work and then be able to take it with me while I'm on the road, or if I got to take it to the studio, I can just pack it up in my analog cases case, which if you guys do need a case, you can go ahead and click the link in the description and head over to Analog Cases. You know, they have cases for just about everything, and for the MPC Key 37, the MPC X Special Edition, and the MPC Live 2, and just about everything else in your studio. So if you guys need a case, go ahead and click my link in the description and head over to Analog Cases right now. Yeah, it's super portable. It just makes my life so much easier because it's basically like having an MPC 1 with a keyboard attached to it. And then if you look at the overall price of it compared to having an MPC 1 and then having to buy like a MIDI controller, which in some cases, yeah, it might be a little cheaper. But if you can go ahead and have all of this wrapped up in one, and then you still only pay like $900 for the whole all-in-one system, you can't really beat that, in my opinion. Now, some of you guys are saying, but Bolo, what about the MPC Key 61? You used to rock that so much. Yeah, I did. I did used to rock the MPC Key 61. Number one, it was huge and it was not portable at all. And number two, it didn't have an SD card slot. Well, I could buy a little dongle for the SD card to work inside of it, but you still have to hook it up via USB. And I didn't feel like doing all that. I want to be able just to use my SD card inside my machine, and that way I can just take the card, and if I want to put in another machine, I can just put it in there. And if I had to finish up on anything, I didn't have to worry about having to find the dongle or having to do anything else. I could just take my SD card, put it in the machine, and I'll be done. Because that's a good thing about all of these machines with the new MPCs. You can just take whatever that you have, and it will be compatible in any one of the machines. And it seems like a lot of people have been feeling the way I've been feeling because the MPC Key 37 has been massive in sales, and a lot of people are buying these things up at a very fast pace. So of course, if you need to go ahead and get one, you know, to make sure to click my link in the description and head over to Zounds.com. You know, at Zounds, you can go ahead and get one of these MPC Key 37s with no credit check. Meaning you can go ahead and order it and they'll go ahead and ship it to you in like 2 days, and then you can just make monthly installments on it. All you have to have is just a credit or debit card hooked to the account, and that's pretty much it. And they have a whole bunch of other stuff on the site as well that you guys can get with no credit check at Zounds.com. So if you guys need to get an MPC Key 37 or anything else for your studio, you can go ahead and click my link in the description right now and head over to Zounds.com. They have a whole bunch of stuff that you guys can get. Shameless plug. Now, of course, the MPC Key 37 doesn't have as many inputs and outputs as maybe the Live 2 or the MPC X Special Edition or even the MPC X. But the thing about it is I don't really need it because I really use my MPC Key 37 as a true standalone unit. I don't even hook up none of my other synthesizers or anything to it. If I'm using my MPC Key 37, I just use what's inside of it, whether it's the VSTs inside of it or my samples inside of it. That's all I pretty much use because you can do everything inside of the MPC Key 37. And then with it having the keyboard with it, it just makes everything so much more convenient. Now, some people may say, hey, Bolo, but what about the Qlinks and some other functions that maybe the MPC X may have? They're not that much of a factor, knowing that you can actually toggle through the different sets of Qlinks by just pressing the Qlink button on the actual MPC Key 37. Now, there is another drawback with the MPC Key 37. It is a little bit lower in volume, especially coming out of the 1/4" jacks. Don't know why it's lower in volume compared to the other MPCs, but I'm really not concerned with that because a lot of times I'm going into interfaces or I'm going into monitor controllers and we can just simply turn it up. And then when I hook up my headphones to the MPC Key 37, it sounds good. But the output is a little bit lower, but hey, sounds good to me personally. Now, some people are going to talk about, oh man, the pads, they're a little small. The pads are not big like the MPC Live 2 and the MPC X. Yeah, they're a little bit smaller, but I mean, come on, man, you're not going to feel the difference on them. I never really even noticed that the pads were small until a lot of you guys were commenting under the videos of the MPC Key 37 saying that the pads are a little smaller. Come on, man, that's not going to make any difference in me making a beat. The pads being a little bit smaller are not going to make my beat sound any better or any worse because, you know, some days I make some good beats and some days I don't. That's just how this thing works. And there was one other thing a lot of y'all were talking about, and it was the screen size of the Key 37. And a lot of people are like, oh, the screen size isn't that big. It's the same screen that's on the Live 2. So if you're not complaining about the screen size on the Live 2, why would you complain about it on the Key 37? I'm just wondering. And then now with the new MPC 3 software on here, it just takes this machine to a whole nother level. I've been critical of the software, but the more and more I use it, the more and more I find it easier for me to navigate through the Key 37 and for me to finish beats a little bit faster. And then another thing is, every time I take it to a studio and people don't have the Key 37, they always want to touch it. They always want to put their hands on it because they like how the form factor of the Key 37 is. And that's pretty much the selling part of the whole unit, is just the form factor of it being not too small and not too big to travel with and to complete your stuff with. And to be totally honest with you guys, I love using all of my units. However, I love using all of my units in a different way. Like if I'm just outside the house and I just want to kind of cook up and I just want to maybe cook up on the couch or something like that, I use my MPC Live 2. If I'm trying to do some serious work with all of my synthesizers or whatever, and I need those inputs and those outputs and all the bells and whistles, I use my MPC X Special Edition. However, when I'm just casually cooking up, or if I have to travel somewhere and I need to take a unit with me, I am taking my MPC Key 37 because it can do everything. And if I need to get extra sounds, I can just bring my laptop, I can hook it up in controller mode and go that route as well. Yeah, so this right now is my favorite. And I've been making a ton of beats on it lately, and I've really been enjoying it. So yeah, the MPC Key 37 is my new favorite right now. And unless something comes along, this might be my favorite for a while. What you guys think about the MPC Key 37? Let me know in the comments.